Hey, Brent here, older home specialist, and check this out. So we have an old galvanized sprinkler line here, and it's probably 70 years old, and it's leaking in two spots down here. You can see that they already worked on it a couple times. They got a couple compression couplers on there and a saddle clamp. That stuff don't work. I know a lot of guys use them. I used to use them a long time ago, but it's not a repair that's going to last or hang on. So 20-foot galvanized pipe only came on 20-foot sections, and so I know that there's a coupler every 20 feet no matter what. So basically what I do in a situation like this is I dig it out from the fitting, extract that nipple out, and stub in PVC at a bare minimum. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to get this all apart here, and you can see we have this trench ran all the way up to the next head. And once we get up to this next head, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to extract the nipple so we can stub in at least a good solid piece and get into that fitting. One thing about the pipe is, if you think about it, a galvanized piece of pipe, and then they got to ream the threads off it, well, that makes it thinner right there. The fittings are fatter, so they often last longer. So by doing this, it's a solid repair that I can say I'll put my signature on without replacing the whole system. And then that way I'm not having to use any of these saddle clamps or compression couplers. One problem is the pipe is rarely round. It gets all kinds of minerals that are stuck to it, and you got to tap them off. Well, once you do that, you're taking the galvanization with it too. So a lot of times that can be problematic on its own. So that's the reason why I never use these. So here's what we're going to do next. We're going to extract these and get a good piece of PVC in here. Cut up out a piece of the pipe there, make a nipple. Actually, it's just a piece of pipe that's threaded on one side. And then set up with our pipe wrenches with cheater bars or PVC if you're a sprinkler guy. Whatever works. All right. There you go. Nice fat fitting to tie to right there. All right, now we have the compression coupler off this side here. You can see we just cut another piece out. Down to it right there, that's what we're working with. All right, well, we got that one out. You can see it's not always easy. You saw that I used my torch to heat this one up. Look how thin the wall is. That's what happens to even galvanized steel when it's in the ground long enough. We're talking 70 years. Acid and everything in the dirt eats away at the wall. Anyways, we got that out there. Now we're gonna get ready to run a new pipe. I always use Teflon roll and soft Teflon too, especially on an old fitting like this. All right, another trick that I do. Kids, don't do this at home. Always use your gloves. Bring the primer out. So much better for not getting it everywhere. If you do that, that'll enable you to put the primer on without getting it all over the place like a pig. All right, so we got all put in here. You can see I use 45s instead of 90s. Anytime you're using 90s, it's going to slow the water flow. If you have a chance, use 45s. We had a chance, so we did. When I'm doing big pipe like this, anything bigger than 1 inch, I always glue both sides, the pipe and the coupler, and let it set up at the end of the day. So we're just going to leave this and let it set up nicely.